I think the biggest challenge for investors for 2020 will continue to be the low yield world that we live in. I don't see central banks hiking rates in 2020. I see core government bond yields remaining low. So that search for yield will continue to play out. And for now, we've seen investors embracing asset classes like investment grade credit, high yield, emerging market debt. That trend isn't going to change. The opening up of emerging markets will continue to provide investors with opportunities, whether that's China, perhaps we'll see India coming into major indices. So it's the search for yield and that sort of move down the risk spectrum towards riskier asset classes like corporate bonds and emerging markets for me are the biggest trends in 2020.
The biggest trend we see going forward in 2020 for ETFs is basically the adoption or continued adoption of users actually using fixed income ETFs in their portfolios. Thinking more holistically about portfolio construction, thinking about how they can actually build a better portfolio, using index for part of that portfolio, and that may be equities, it can also be fixed income. So it's continued adoption, it's going to be portfolio construction leading the way, and within portfolio construction, it's index more. How do we actually become more efficient? And within that, it's also index your fixed income as well.
So I think the biggest opportunity is continued growth, and I think that we're going to see continued growth. If we look this year, not only did we bounce back from the fall in assets last year, we reached new record highs and had 20% compound annual growth rate. I think ESG is definitely one to watch, and I think there's a huge opportunity for the ETF industry to take the lead in Europe when it comes to ESG products, and there's a massive opportunity in Ireland for us here to be the green investment management hub of Europe.
So the biggest trend and challenge for ETFs in 2020 will surely be continued innovation. On the ESG take-up front, there is a very strong client-driven demand for ESG products going forward, and so there is a lot of innovation happening in the ETF space precisely around this.
I think the biggest trend or challenge for ETFs in 2020, and that will continue over the next few years, is going to be the ability of product issuers to innovate. Because I think they're constrained a lot at the moment by the existing constraints of the index providers that they use. I think they're going to need to be aware of mass customization of products and therefore of index provision itself. It's going to be a really exciting time, but I think we're going to see some shake-up in the industry and perhaps a move away from the existing big brand index providers.